Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
Tonight we are talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 14, Episode 11. And we have Lori here for the first time discussing New Jersey with us. Welcome, Lori.
I watched it.
I'm
Very
excited.
exciting.
I watched
I'm
my
excited.
Jersey bitches. I liked it.
See, I knew you would like Jersey.
I like Jersey, yes.
So we start out with Delores and Paulie. They're talking about how Delores is stressed. And then we get to see Joe Gorga showing his boys how to cook, which basically was how to boil water, which I kind of thought was funny.
Yeah,
That was
Melissa's
funny.
laughing. Like, I think he knows how to boil water.
Yeah. Then we see Jennifer Aydin. She meets up with her brothers for lunch. Her brother Michael and his wife Melda, who got married 18 months ago, or moved from Turkey 18 months ago.
It was like an arranged marriage, Lord, just so you know. In their culture, they do have arranged marriages.
And when he moved to New Jersey from Turkey, Jenn Aydin got an apartment for him and got it all set up for them. And they're both still living there with their child. They have a son now. And then also her brother Steven shows up, who's a music teacher, and he lives in New York and works in New York. And he also does some kind of musical productions. Now, you don't know this, Lori, because you've not seen him before, but he actually, I think it was the first season Jenn Aydin came on. He didn't have a good relationship with his family because he was gay, and he came out pretty much on TV. And his relationship with Jennifer never had a problem with him. It was her parents who were kind of old school and wouldn't really acknowledge it. And so Jennifer really kind of bridged that gap for him. These, like we were just saying, these are the kind of scenes we like to see, is the family scenes where you get to see real families, talking and interacting. I am curious, though, because Michael said that he's building a store in Naples, Florida.
Yes, I have written down here. We need to send your mom and your sister to his.
Yes, we'll have to find out where it is and what it's called.
What kind of store is it?
How funny was it when Melda was basically, I mean, this is how I took it. Melda was basically saying that people were nicer in Florida than they are in Jersey.
Absolutely.
Like they weren't as aggressive. I'm like, yeah, well, there's a lot of people from Jersey in Florida now.
She's right, though. It's a little bit.
So right.
Yeah, we are very aggressive. New York, New
Very
Jersey.
aggressive.
Okay, and speaking of which, how about my question? What kind of store is it?
Oh, I guess jewelry.
Oh,
They have a
yeah,
jewelry
okay.
business.
I think he's a jeweler.
okay.
I think Michael's the jeweler.
Yes.
Okay.
And he's got a store now in Long Island. I don't know if he still has it. I would assume he does.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a jewelry store. And Jenn is telling them about her pushing Danielle, and then Danielle hit her, with the glass.
And when she reenacted the push, she's like, it was like this.
Yeah.
It was like
It
this.
was, it was not like that. I watched that just because I haven't been on here yakking about it. I've been watching all the Jersey episodes, so I watched.
If somebody pushed you like that, what would you have done? Hit them upside the head with a cup? Because I would have.
Absolutely, with no problem.
Yep.
No problem. And I've been watching some things online in regards to that. They were saying how Jenn was saying how Danielle kind of got in her face, but you can clearly see Jennifer leaves the opposite side of the table and moves into Danielle's space.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she's talking about,
Yeah.
because they were on opposite sides of a table.
That's what we do. When in a heated argument, that's what we do. We get in each other's faces. So it's just like she says, right? You don't want none, don't start none. She should take her own advice, because she started that whole.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she did. And she also said right after it happened, she doesn't even remember what happened because she kind of blacked out.
She remembers. She was using that as an excuse so she could get fired for getting physical with somebody.
Yeah,
she remembers.
Listen, Danielle didn't hit her that hard. She can remember.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was nice to see.
The next thing.
Sorry, it was nice to see her interacting with her family, because she seemed
for sure
much more genuine than when she interacts with other people. So it was nice to see her being like that. It was more like her. I felt like that was more her real self, and not like I know her or know about it because I watch it so much. I've only watched it this season, but even to me, it was very telling how she was different with her family.
Yeah, because when she's in scenes with the other women, she's doing Teresa's dirty work. So she's going after Danielle this season because Danielle realized at the reunion last year that they set her up.
Mm-hmm.
So she's doing Teresa's dirty work.
Right.
Let's face it.
And
It's
she
very,
even says
very
that
clear.
to her brother. She said, I don't feel like Teresa has my back anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And her brother's like, well, you need to tell her that. You need to sit down with her and have that conversation.
Which she does, and
Yeah.
then glosses over it. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so what's going on with you?
Right. Yeah, she just doesn't have a backbone.
No.
The next thing we see is Danielle goes over to Rachel's house with her daughter Valentina, so Rachel's kids can play together because Rachel has 2 little girls. I mean, Valentina, how old is she? Like 6?
She's got to be older than
Yeah,
Gigi.
she's
So
older.
was Gigi like 3, right? I think she just had her 4th birthday.
So
So
she's
she was
3.
3.
And
So
then the other,
Valentina's probably like 6.
yeah, but it was
They're
so
so
cute seeing
cute.
them play together.
Yeah,
Really are.
So cute.
Yeah.
So Danielle is telling her about the podcast incident and how that went at the church, that it was at an old church. And what she said to Jen is, I'm surprised the place didn't burn down because she was in there. And as she's walking out, remember, I couldn't remember what she said, so I wrote it down this time. And by the way, Jen, you look like shit.
Yeah.
That was
Which
so
is-
awesome.
Yeah, but
It was
not
so
nice.
awesome.
Not nice.
It wasn't
No,
nice.
and Rachel basically says, Jen.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically calls her out. Like, that
Right.
wasn't
Right.
nice.
Right. And even Delores, it's so funny because Delores was there when it happened. And after she walked out of the room, you could see how upset Jen was about it. And she starts like flipping out on Teresa. And then Delores is like, no. Like, you're a big girl. Jen, you could handle yourself. You don't have to have Teresa, and she is a big girl.
Yeah, but if somebody did that to Teresa and Jen didn't back her up, Teresa would flip. So I understand where Jen's coming from. She's got legit gripes with Teresa. And for
100%.
Dolores to get in her face and be like, you can't talk to her like that. Yes, she can. Dolores should have shut up in that moment. But Dolores is doing what Teresa wants her to do. Have her back no matter what. Dolores should have shut up. And I like Dolores, but she should have shut up in that instance.
Listen, Dolores and her go way back. They
Yeah,
go
but it
way
doesn't
back.
matter. What's
Dolores
right
and
is
Jen,
right.
Dolores and Jen have never had a good relationship.
Mm-mm.
They never have.
No, but Dolores shouldn't have gotten involved there. She should have shut up.
Well, listen. This is all staged anyway. This is all produced. It's so easy to forget that and just think that all this stuff just comes out. This is their natural interactions. So, I mean, because really, why would Danielle even have to say anything? She did it because she said it because she's on TV. She's trying to make.
Oh no.
I don't know.
No.
Not
That's
with Danielle.
No, that's who Danielle is. If she's thinking it, she's gonna say it.
Yeah,
She's gonna
I
say it, and
agree.
she'll say it to your face.
I agree with you that a lot of it is staged, but with Danielle, I feel like what you see is what you get. Like, she just thinks it and says it. I mean, I don't think anybody told her to tell Jen she looked like shit. I think she did that all on her own.
On her own.
You know what? We're gonna meet Danielle this Saturday, so we're gonna ask her that question, Lori. If someone told her to say that, and I'm sure the answer is, what do you think? You think someone told me to say that?
Exactly. Right.
But Dolores does say in her confessional that, Teresa's going through a lot with the lawsuit that Louie's going through, and she's carrying on her shoulders. So that's kind of why she felt the need to step in when Jen was coming for her. Then Rachel's planning the pajama party, and she tells Danielle that she's going to invite Jenn Aydin. She just wants her to know that that's happening and, wants to make sure she's okay with that, which I thought was nice. And of course she said, fine.
I kind of wish Rachel didn't invite Jackie to the slumber party. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah, because she's only a friend of. She didn't really have to invite her.
No, we don't need her there.
No.
Hey, speaking of her. Speaking for her, did you guys see her on Watch What Happens Live with Andy? Jennifer?
Jackie?
No, Jennifer Aydin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was really annoying.
Yes.
She kept cutting that other
Very
guy
annoying.
off. Oh my gosh. I was like, you need to shut the fuck up. She was super
She
annoying
did
on
need
that.
to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
she
that
was very
horrible.
annoying.
Yeah.
Horrible. Okay, just had to put it out there.
Thank you. Thank you for
Oh, you're
sharing.
welcome.
For
Oh,
sure.
you're welcome.
For sure.
You're so welcome.
So then we cut to commercials, and I actually love the Rayo's homemade Italian sauce commercial with the Gorgas.
Oh my God, that was so cute.
Loved it, loved it,
Me
loved
too.
it. And I don't
So
watch
cute.
commercials, but I stopped and I watched that whole commercial.
You know, it's so funny because somebody put up a meme today, and it was Teresa flipping the table from season 1, and they were like, Melissa's sister-in-law seeing the Rayo's commercial for the first time, and it was her flipping the table. It was so funny.
That's great.
I thought that commercial was great.
I want
I
to
did
tell you
too.
guys, so I've been starting to watch this now from season 1 because I have never watched Housewives of New Jersey. You guys once talk about it, so I've been watching this current season, but I have gone back and I have started at the very beginning. And all I have to say is, you know, I'm always yakking about, oh, everything's so scripted, blah, blah, blah. She's not. You don't flip a table and act like that. She's crazy. She's crazy.
None of it was scripted back then. That's
She's
the point.
crazy.
Like, none of it was scripted back.
I was waiting to see some big, controversial, jaw-dropping, something that somebody said that normally you would punch somebody in the face. Like, I was waiting to see this thing, this whole hype for me about this table flip. I was like, okay, like, what is it? What is it that happens that makes her do that? And then I saw it and I was like, you're fucking crazy. She's crazy.
She is, and you'll see. You're gonna see when it shifts. She's not scripted right now. None of it was scripted right now. But there's a shift at some point where Teresa changes. Teresa completely changes and becomes a completely different person.
Well, all I have to say is when Louis comes on.
Even before that, though.
Yeah,
like I don't want to say too much because Lori's just watching it. But season 5.
All right.
When people call her out on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm gonna continue watching it. Yeah. But it's
so
fun
where are
to
you
do
at
it
right
now.
now, Laura?
I am still in season 1. I think I don't know, a couple episodes in.
That's the last episode of season 1 when she flips the table.
Oh, so then I must be in season 2 already then.
Wait, so did you watch the reunion for season 1?
I don't think so. I'm just going by what's on Peacock. Like, it just keeps running. You know, just keeps going to the next episode. So
It should go to the reunion though.
Yeah. Maybe you saw it and you don't remember.
It could be.
Is that the reunion where she pushes?
I know it could be.
Is that the reunion where she pushes Andy, or is that season 2?
No, that's season 2. That's season 2.
Okay, so yeah.
Season 1 is that's when Caroline says to Danielle, like, you know what you did. You know what you did. What do you think of Danielle Staub? How come we not ask this?
Laura?
What?
What do you think of Danielle Staub?
Is that the one who has the bougie kids?
No.
No,
on
season 1.
Please,
the
she's
prostitution.
She's another one who's out of her mind.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's off her rocker.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Yeah. No, she's off.
Say
she's
no
off
more.
her rocker. She's off her rocker.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so next
All
on
right,
this
let's get back to this one,
episode, G is taking a month off from work so she can study for her LSATs. Now, this is not the first time she's taken them, so she's already taken them. And she's talking about what Teresa's going through with Louis' ex, and Teresa says how she hates Margaret because she found out that she's been talking to Louis' ex. Teresa says she wants James Leonard to explain to the ladies what Margaret's been doing and what Louis is going through.
Let me tell you something.
What?
If this guy does not get disbarred, I don't know what. And I commented this on Facebook today. The feds came after Teresa because of what she was doing on national television. The Bar Association is going to go after this guy, and they should. He's so unethical. He just wants to be on camera. He doesn't give a shit about Teresa Giudice. He's making money off of her, and he just wants to be on camera. He's such a fucking slime ball. He's from Atlantic City. Like, what are you doing all the way up in North Jersey? Nobody ever even heard of you before. Joe Gorga hired him to review his contract when he and Melissa joined the show. And now this guy got to Teresa somehow. It's unbelievable. Like, what do he's like a wannabe gangster.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
So let me ask you a question. So what if Margaret is talking to Louis's ex. If there's nothing to worry about, then there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, but there's plenty to worry about.
I know.
It's a good point you're making, but here's the thing. So Teresa's trying to paint a picture that Margaret goes and digs up dirt on everybody. And she has an arsenal. What has come out and what the ex's attorney has even gone on record saying is they started an investigation against Louis because of things that were happening in his ex's life. To help them in the investigation, they contacted people who would have information. Now, Louis called Margaret's son at his place of business and threatened him. And I guess they somehow knew that and contacted Margaret to talk to her about that to help them in their investigation against Louis or suit against Louis.
Right, because Louis and Bo Dietl, his investigator, hired people to pose as clients for his ex. His ex is a therapist. She's a licensed therapist. She primarily deals with.
Now she does, but who knows if she did before?
Right.
Right. Now she does.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what he is.
Yeah. So they hired 2 people to pose as clients to try and get dirt on her.
To try to get her to talk about Louis in a session, because then they could counteract the stalking. Like if she mentioned Louis in her sessions, then it would seem that she was the one who was obsessed or whatever they're claiming.
They wanted to go after her license as well. They wanted to go after her livelihood and her license.
Right. Which is what they do with everybody.
Right.
Which is what they're doing with John Fuda right now.
Right. So
scumbags. They're such scum.
We'll get there after we finish this episode.
This is what made me laugh though. Gia, in her wisdom, says that once Jen Fessler hears the truth, she's going to say, wow, that's fucked up. Meanwhile, we now know that Jenn Fessler did hear the truth, did see the proof, and took a step away from Teresa and doesn't even talk to Teresa. And she's distanced herself from Teresa because she knows the truth and she has seen proof, she said.
Yes.
So sorry, Gia. That kind of backfired on you.
The thing is, I don't know if Gia even knows the truth. Because
Gia don't know the truth.
Well, that's the thing. Gia's just standing by her mother blindly, which, listen, that's what you want in a daughter. You want your daughter to have your back.
Not when you're like, I mean, this is like criminal behavior, what they're doing.
It is.
What Louis doing.
Absolutely.
You want your daughter involved in that, blindly following you?
No.
And some dirtbag that came out of nowhere because his sister stalked you on social media and sent him to get you? Like,
no.
This is crazy town. This is a book. This is Dirty John.
Yeah, but did you know that her boyfriend Christian is working for his company?
Yeah, like well, is he working for him anymore? Is there even a company anymore?
Well, I think he is, actually.
Wasn't it the Vanivia?
No, it's a separate corporation.
Oh, dear
that
God.
His son and her boyfriend are both officers in. His son, Louis Jr., and her boyfriend, Christian. And it's something to do with social media something.
Here's a public service announcement for Christian's parents. Get your son out of that business.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Allegedly, they are still getting donations for different, raising money. I shouldn't say donations. They're raising money for different fake corporations, and then they're paying it out to these kids.
Yeah, because they can't get investors because they're crooks.
Right. And they're paying it out in supposed salaries.
Meanwhile, my stupid ass gets up every day and goes to work 9 to 5 like a schmuck.
I know I know it's not a popular opinion, but I actually kind of feel a little bit bad for Teresa because I think she's.
You won't. Keep watching.
You won't. Don't think? No, I won't. Because right now I feel like she's just like so dumb. Like she's just getting taken advantage of by Louis.
She's already been to jail. She's already been to jail.
Know better.
If she didn't learn, she's not going to learn.
Exactly. You can only feel sorry for her for so long, but keep watching. You'll get there.
Okay.
You'll get there. I see what you're saying because you're watching the early seasons and you're seeing the innocent Teresa that we all fell in love with back then. And now you're seeing and you're watching it and you're seeing that this guy is clearly a dirtbag, right? Louis a dirtbag.
Clearly.
Okay. So I can see where there's a
Cringy.
disconnect at this point and you would feel
Yeah.
sorry for her. But don't
Right.
you worry. Keep watching. You're going to connect the dots and you're not going to feel sorry for her. You're not.
And I want to
I-
know how much does Bravo pay her to be on that show? How do you
A
like
lot of money.
lose?
She's probably, if not the highest housewife, but, paid housewife, she's got to be close to it. I mean, I don't know if Jersey gets Beverly Hills money, but she's by far the highest paid Jersey housewife, probably mainly because she's been on the longest.
Because I'm looking
The
at
way
it
they
and
treat her, they just treat her ridiculously, in my opinion.
because I'm just looking at it and I'm like, well, I know she went to jail. I know he went to jail. They can't have any money. I know they owe money. How is she in
They
this
still owe money.
How is she in like this swaggy ass house? And there, I was like, how does that?
Okay, that's all Louis.
The math
So
is not
I have an
mathing.
idea.
No.
After this season of Jersey Wraps, what do we have? OC? And then we have some time, I think, before any other franchise starts, I think.
I think next is New York.
I will go back. I will recap old episodes of Jersey. I say we go through this with Lori.
Okay.
Ooh, fun. That
Wanna
would be
do it?
cool.
Sure.
Then you
I
then
think
you
it's a
could
good
explain
idea.
it to me.
Yeah.
When I have
Okay.
questions.
Yep. Sounds
Right.
So
good.
I watched I think it was season 5 today. I mean, I listened to it. I was working. I listened to it in the background. But when they went to the cat,
Oh, is that with Siggy?
No. God. Oh,
Which
we didn't
place-
even get there yet.
Where did they go for team building?
Remember Kathy and Richie and Rosie, Joe and Melissa,
Oh.
and Teresa and Joe go, and then they call Caroline, and she comes up with Dr. V.
Okay, yes.
Love Dr.
Oh, wait. Was that when they had the fight
Yeah.
and the hair?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That's good.
Don't
That's
say
good.
anymore. Don't
Yeah.
say anymore. Because we'll
I'm
watch
not
it.
saying anymore.
I'm not going to say anymore. But let's do that. I say we recap old Jersey episodes because I could talk about this shit forever because I act like I know them.
Yeah, I know you do. It's okay. It's all good.
All right,
So
let's
then-
get to Rachel's slumber party because quite
No,
honestly,
wait. Before we get there, we got to go. Melissa and Joe go over to Margaret and Joe's house.
Oh,
Oh, with
To
the tree
help
cutting.
Joe cut down the
Yeah.
tree, and I could not believe how Joe Gorga, at his age, climbed that tree.
did he have what? How
had a-
does he do that?
He is a monkey. He's part monkey.
He
He
is,
is part- I was thinking he was
I mean-
part monkey too.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I thought he was going to throw some coconuts down. He shimmied right up there. Maybe he had those.
seriously.
Maybe he had those tree climb shoes, like for the
Oh,
episode.
even still, he climbed that
he
tree
didn't do bad. He
like
didn't
it was
do bad.
nobody's business and cut it down.
And cut it down.
I mean, he is
Yeah.
the man. He's the man.
He's funny with his ketchup.
Yeah, that was impressive. And the ketchup trick, I
ketchup trick.
didn't. For a second, I thought Melissa was gonna, when Melissa sees a bug or something,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, I thought maybe, but I'm like, nah, I think they know them enough to know that was ketchup.
Yeah. No, that one didn't fly.
It's so
Right.
funny. He's like he's 10.
Yes.
He acts like he's 10. And
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
chance he gets, he acts like
Yeah.
he's 10.
But
Well,
that's
good.
what's so endearing about him. Like,
Yeah, God bless
I
him.
just don't think the guy's got a mean bone in his body.
He does not.
I don't think he does.
He really doesn't. He does not. Then we see Jen Fessler wants to know what happened at the podcast because she left. This is
Oh, when her and
Dolores.
Dolores get
Yes.
together. Yeah.
Dolores goes over to Jen Fessler's house and she wants to know like what's going on and what happened at the podcast because when all that fighting started, Jen Fessler just left. And, she gives her the update that, Teresa's going through a lot with Louis and the lawsuit. Dolores is asking her about, how you are with Rachel. And she's like, well, I texted her and she didn't get back to me. And then she invited me to the slumber party. And I was like, I don't think I can make it. So Dolores
Right.
talks her into changing her mind and sending a text saying, yeah, I can make it, which I'm glad she
Yeah.
did. I'm glad
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad that when she gets there that she pulls her aside and they make up, her and Rachel, because they, they're fighting over something that they shouldn't really be fighting over.
No, they shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah.
over it. No. And to
Right.
me, it seemed like maybe Rachel was like all stressed out because her kid just had that surgery and blah, 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 blah. But it just seemed to me like she lost her shit a little bit over something that, I mean, Jen Fessler wasn't doing anything wrong as far as I could see, but Rachel just kind of lost her shit a little bit. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You know what it is? I think, and I had said this to Wendy, like, you know, when like you just, certain people you just meet and you click. Like I used Liz Vesci as my example. Like we met when the girls were in kindergarten and I knew right away, like
She was your
literally
people.
I knew right away.
She was your
She and I
tribe.
were going to be just friends. Like we were just, that was it. This is my new friend and that's it. You know, ride or die. And we have been ride or die since then. But I think that that's what happened with Rachel and Jen. But I think Jen wanted to explore the Teresa side of things because she wanted a more prominent role in the show this season. And I think Rachel saw through that. And that was heartbreaking to her.
Oh, okay. So it was
I
more
think that's
than
what
just
broke her heart.
It was more than just that incident. Because when I based it
Yes.
off that incident, I was like, well, you know, she wasn't, all she was doing was defending your husband. Just so what are you having such a fit about?
I think at this point, Rachel is at the point where she's like, just don't say my husband's name in front of her because of the damage she's doing. Like you've seen the stuff online. I mean, they're bringing up stuff from his past. They're just trying to bury this guy. Meanwhile, he's a great husband. He's a great father. He's a successful businessman. And, you know, Louis and Teresa are not any of those things. They're just not.
No, they're not.
And they're trying to take him down.
They're definitely trying to take him down. And that's what she had in the envelope that she brought on Monday, the 15th, to the watch party that she wanted to put out there. Like nobody knew about the article that happened many years ago that John Fuda had already spoken about. He already put it out there himself.
Well, did you see the latest thing though that they did put out that he was involved in a robbery where they bound a guy? But I don't think he talked about that, did he?
Yes, he did. He absolutely
he did talk about that.
He absolutely talked about it. He was charged, but he was not convicted. He was hanging out with some bad people at the time. He had talked about it in the very beginning, and I've seen footage of him talking about it.
Okay, I thought he only talked about selling weed at 17 years old.
Nope, this was when he was 20 years old, and he had talked about it.
Okay, good. So he addressed it.
He had addressed
it. Let's move on.
Old news. It was old news, and it was just them trying to play dirty for no reason.
And obviously, like, look who broke it, all about TRH. Like, you're such losers. You're such losers, and everybody knows it.
Right, exactly. So then Teresa meets up with Jenn Aydin, and she says she's sorry for not having her back. She tells her that she's waiting for the decision from the judge for Louis, and, you know, it's kind of out of their hands at this point, but you know, she's trying to get a restraining order. The ex is trying to get a restraining order from Louis. This is what the big lawsuit is about. And they're just waiting for the judge's decision. So Jenn accepts the apology.
Let me ask you this. This is Louis' ex, right? What does he give a fuck if she has a restraining order against him for? If he doesn't want to spend any time with her, why should he give a shit if she has a restraining order against him?
Because it looks bad. It looks bad, and it makes Louis look bad. It makes because there are some crazy allegations, like he hit one of the exes with like a bar or something. There's some crazy allegations against him. So if she's successful in getting a restraining order, which she wasn't, we know now she wasn't successful. It legitimizes these other claims against him, which were very bad.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. So then what happens? They go to the pajama party.
Yes, thank God.
Yes, we're at the pajama party now, and Rachel
which was so cute.
Yes, it was. She
I
sent
want
everyone
her
pajamas.
Be invited to one of those pajama parties. Rachel has a shore house in Brick. Maybe she'll invite us over.
Maybe she'll invite us there.
Maybe. I liked some of the games that they did. They had the lipstick reader show up. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before.
Who asked, is this like the coffee reading? That was so funny.
Who did
Danielle?
ask? Was it I don't remember, but that was good.
Yeah.
I immediately thought
maybe it was Margaret.
I immediately thought of Kelly when they had the lipstick.
Oh, the lipstick reading.
I was like, oh, this is Kelly, right up Kelly's alley. She must be like, oh,
yeah, like how have I never heard of this before?
I haven't either. And then the champagne bongs. They actually had a glass with champagne bongs. I'm there for.
Well, remember
saw
Patricia
those,
and
yeah.
Madison did it on Southern
Mhm.
Charm? The
I remember that.
Shambongs?
Shambong,
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember
that's
that.
right. That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, I would like to do a shambong.
I want
Yes.
to Yeah, we got to get some Shambongs.
All right. And then
Yes.
the foot by the yard challenge. I like
That
that
was-
too.
I was pretty impressed. Like I was watching them and I was like, somebody's going to,
Yeah.
and they were all like, I love this. I'm like, I don't even think I've ever eaten one in my life.
And then,
I'll be honest with you. They were on sale at Costco this week and I saw them. I was like, oh, should I get them?
Yeah, maybe
That's
we do our own
funny.
little challenge.
yeah, we'll see who wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a fun party. I'm glad that they did that. I thought that they got along well, which was nice to see.
Listen, they proved, and everybody's saying it online, the show can survive without Teresa, people. She wasn't there. Nobody talked about her. And
Right.
it was such a fun scene. It was so fun to watch. So the show can go on without Teresa. So let's try it. Bravo, please, for the love of God. Let's try it.
Yes. And then at the end of the party, they bring up how Delores and Jen Fessler want to get together all the girls to have a retreat and, try and mend the fences, which we know that retreat didn't happen because the house they were supposed to go to wound up burning down the night before they were supposed to.
What kind of sign is that?
Yeah, right.
I know. That really should have been the sign.
Honestly, when she said Berkshire's, I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to Dorinda's house.
Yeah,
Well,
Dorinda's
Dorinda
sick.
was pissed that they weren't going there.
Oh, she was?
She was so pissed when she found out. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of course, Bluestone Manor. I mean,
I didn't know she was mad.
anytime she can show up Bluestone Manor. Yeah, no, she was
Yeah.
pissed.
How about when something happened at the party and I thought it was funny?
The
Oh,
cake.
when at the beginning, well, the cake was funny, but at the beginning, Rachel's like, "I'm not calling this a slumber party. I'm saying you can stay over a little bit, but nobody's sleeping here."
Yes.
So none of them slept there.
No.
Right. I was actually calling it a pajama party. Because
Yeah.
that's really what it was. It was just
Yeah,
a pajama
yeah,
party
yeah.
where,
I mean, I don't know where everybody
Well,
else lives, but Danielle probably had the farthest drive, and I'm sure she had a driver. So
yeah.
you know,
But I don't blame her. I wouldn't want them sleeping over either.
I mean, she's got a huge house, but like, yeah, then you got to like make arrangements for like where they all going to sleep. Where were our kids?
They were
Upstairs.
upstairs because
They
we
were
saw.
home.
Yeah. We saw
Babysitter.
her say goodnight to them, and she had a babysitter upstairs.
Okay, but John wasn't there.
No, John went out. I don't blame him. I would have went out.
No, yeah, our husbands would have beat feet out of there immediately.
Yes.
So I want to ask
Yeah.
you, how does the age difference go? Who is the oldest in the group?
Margaret.
Margaret's the oldest.
And then who?
Probably Jen
Maybe-
Fessler.
Yeah, Jen Fessler.
And then
And
Then
then-
probably Teresa.
then
Then probably Jackie. Then
Ooh.
Melissa. And
where's
then
Delores?
Rachel and Danielle are probably very close.
And where's Delores?
Oh, I'm
Dolores.
sorry.
Dolores is up there with Teresa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
Teresa is
just
around my
curious.
I feel like Joe Gorga is my age, or I'm like right in the middle of Teresa and Joe Gorga. Like maybe Teresa's 52 and Joe's turning wait, didn't we see his 50th birthday this season?
Yes.
Okay, so they're both a little bit older than me. So Teresa's 52, Joe's turned 50. I say
And-
they're older than me. I'm basically 50, let's face it.
And Dolores is the same age, I think, as
As
Teresa.
Teresa. And
Right,
Margaret's probably,
I think Margaret
upper
is
50s.
our age,
Yeah.
like 56, 57.
And Jen Fessler's probably in between Teresa and Margaret.
Wait, didn't she
Or
just
I
have a
think she
birthday
might
party?
even be Jen Fessler. Yeah, Rachel
Oh,
threw
yeah.
it for her.
Yeah,
Was
we
that
don't-
her 50th? No.
No. Was it 55?
maybe it was 55. I know she
I
had
had
a
to
birthday
look back
party.
in my notes. It was a surprise party.
It was a surprise
Yeah.
party.
There's
yeah.
no
So
way
then-
that was her 50th, because if it was, she's
Yeah.
because she's had a
No.
lot of work done.
Yeah, she has. Just
Yeah.
from last season to now, she's had a lot of work done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after Teresa is definitely probably Melissa and Jackie are probably close, and then Rachel and Danielle are even younger, but probably close in age.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
just curious.
Yeah. I would say there's a big, Rachel's only like early 30s. And
Yeah.
Margaret's probably, 57.
Right.
So that's a 24-year difference.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's a big gap. But
That's
it
a big gap,
works.
yeah.
It
Yeah, yeah.
works.
Yes, it does.
With them. Everything works. Just get rid of Teresa and it'll be just fine.
Bye-bye, Teresa.
Yeah.
Danielle's dress on Watch What Happens Live.
That was her reunion dress.
I know, but I loved
She was
it.
like,
It was
yeah.
so her. It was so her.
No, but good for her. She's like, I'm not
Wasting
it.
I don't blame her. It's probably
Yeah,
expensive.
absolutely. Yeah. She was good. She was good on Watch What Happens Live. David Arquette was high.
It's like I didn't know that. I thought he was just dumb as a stump. Is that what it was?
I think it's both.
Okay.
But he had to be high because he could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
I didn't watch
And
that
you know
one.
that's what I mean, Andy.
Watch that. You didn't miss much.
No,
It
I
was
watched
just
it once.
basically him laughing. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't really
It
miss
was
much.
actually kind of annoying. He was annoying.
I agree. He was a bit annoying. So one of the things that came out today, the letters that Louis wrote. Did you see this?
No.
So Louis wrote these letters to his ex when he was doing
Warrior camp.
Yes. And the warrior camp was because he was abusive. And it basically says it in these letters, and it's in his handwriting. And those letters are all over online.
So his
didn't
ex
see
must have
this.
released them. Who
Yes.
else would have released them?
Yes.
They're handwritten letters. She's the only one that could have them. Somehow Teresa will blame Margaret or Melissa for this. And there's no way.
Yeah.
She can't blame them. Only the ex could have leaked this.
Yes. So I'm very, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with this?
He is a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's a bad, bad man.
Yes,
He's a bad man.
I get that feeling too from him that he's a
Yeah. And Joe Gorga said, was it on the show this season? He said, I liked him. I really liked him. And then he did me dirty. And then I forgave him. And I gave him another chance. And then he did it again.
Yeah.
Like he's just a bad guy.
He is a bad guy. He is.
Fuck you, Teresa, for sitting back and letting him screw your brother over more than once. You're so into family. You're so into loyalty. You just sat back and watched this douchebag screw your brother over twice? Like, what is wrong with you?
Now, what is it that
Your
he
only
did?
brother.
What did
So the first thing was Joe went to him and said that he wanted to do a pizza oven deal. Like he wanted to make pizza ovens in honor of their father who had passed away. So basically he was asking Louis to put money in and they would be partners.
It was going to be him and Teresa. He wanted him and Teresa to do it. And it was going to be a kit. And it was going to be like a subscription plan. Like you buy the pizza oven and then we send you dough and stuff every month.
Monthly,
Right, to make the pizzas and known as pizza oven.
Okay.
So Louis went out and bought all the pizza ovens and then had them branded with Skinny Italian, which is Teresa's brand.
He basically stole the idea from Joe.
Yeah.
And cut him out of it.
And then blamed him for losing all the money for buying the pizza ovens that they couldn't sell that he has in a warehouse someplace.
Right. Right.
And then the other thing he did was, I just had it. What was the other thing he did?
I feel like he's done so much. Well, the whole wedding thing, they cut them out of the whole wedding.
Well, it wasn't about the wedding. There was another thing that was very significant.
Well, I'll find out when we recap. When we watch them again.
I'm drawing a blank.
I am.
That's right.
And now I can't remember.
Curious.
There was another really big thing that he did.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
He's just a bad man, everyone.
Yes.
He's a bad, bad man.
He is. So this week, we're listening to Joe and Melissa's podcast. It's actually Melissa's podcast, but she has her husband Joe on a lot. And they were talking about all the appearances that they're having and about what happened on Watch What Happens Live with Kathy Wakili. And then Joe was talking about how he ran into Rich Wakili at the plumbing place.
Yep.
So Kathy Wakili and Rich Wakili are their cousins, Lori. They're
Kathy
cousins
is
to
Teresa and Joe Gorga's cousin.
Okay.
First cousin.
Who is on the show season 3 through 5.
Their
let
first
me ask
cousin.
you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the person who's buying the house near them?
Yes.
Yes.
On the lake. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I knew some
In Franklin
information.
Lakes.
Yes.
Yes.
And I remember Melissa saying that when the property went up for sale, that Joe went and offered full price, and they said, "Oh, we already have an offer," and it ended up to be the cousin.
Yes. So Melissa had made a comment that maybe we can mend our relationship. So what happened with that relationship is that Teresa wanted to cut Kathy Wakili out of the show.
Right.
She was calling Kathy and her sister Rosie cancer. And she said she had a meeting with them when she got out of jail. And she said, I have to cut the cancer out. I can't have you in my life anymore. And basically she told her brother Joe, you have to stand by me. You cannot have them in your life if you're going to be my sibling. You have to do what I'm doing. So Joe and Melissa cut them out of their lives because Teresa asked them to. And now Teresa has cut them out of, her life. And Melissa's like, maybe, these two cousins can get back together because we only did this for Teresa. But when Kathy went on Watch What Happens Live, she's like, oh, how convenient is that? Because now all of a sudden we find out, I think this is why. It turns out that Kathy Wakili has known Jennifer Aydin for many years because her daughter used to work for Aydin Plastic Surgery. She was a receptionist.
Right.
Which is crazy.
I'm trying to find out what else I'm on, looking for. So the pizza business was the big thing. But then basically Louis called Joe Gorga over to his house off camera, off season.
Oh, that's what it was.
Told him
that's what it
that
was.
There's a rumor that Melissa cheated on him.
Yes.
And this is a storyline that you'll see coming up soon when Melissa joins the show. So Teresa has been trying to say that Melissa cheats on Joe for a long time. Yeah. He's, they're just scumbags, Teresa and Louis. They just need to go. Enough.
So the story came out that they did it off camera, but then Teresa and Louis being who they are, they made it come on camera, which is how they set up Danielle.
Right.
Jennifer Aydin told Danielle about it. And once Danielle found out about this story, she's like, oh my God, I have to tell Melissa. I can't not tell Melissa. And Jen's like, no, don't tell Melissa.
Yeah.
But she wanted it to be on camera. And Danielle didn't realize until last year's reunion, because this happened last season, that they totally set her up when she found out that Melissa and Joe already knew about this. This has already been something that had been dealt with prior to this, 2 seasons prior. It was 2 seasons prior.
Yep.
And that they totally set her
basically
up.
They were trying to say that Margaret's the one who started the rumor because Melissa and Margaret are close. You'll get there though. You got some time. Okay. I'm excited though. We're going to recap old episodes.
Yes, that'll be good.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
All right. Anything else you want to add, Lori?
No, that's about it. Everything else in the world is such a freaking mess. I'll be very happy to lose myself in the world of Jersey Housewives.
That's why we do it, girl.
It's just crazy.
That's
town.
why.
It's crazy town.
Who wants to deal with what's really going on in the world?
No.
This is so true.
Data breaches.
Not me either.
And, just missing presidents.
Nonsense.
It's just a mess.
Pure nonsense.
Just a mess. Just a mess.
Yep. It is a mess. It is a mess. So until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
Bye.